is Business Talk. All right. So if you are new here, my name is Shakeya The Professor. I actually have 3 YouTube channels. So Silhouettes Anonymous is where all things Silhouette Studio and Silhouette Cameo and learning the program. There's 7 years of content over there. Then we have Honestly Speaking, which will be live demos. That's why this is cross post between Honestly Speaking and 365 Creative Academy. And then 365 Creative Academy is like business talk and any type of creative things that are not direct related to our Honestly Speaking products. So Honestly Speaking will be whenever I'm using HS Ink products. And we are going to do that today because I printed using Honestly Speaking Sublimation ink, and we're going to use the Honestly Speaking Sublimation paper for the project that we're going to do while we talk about business. All right. So if this is something that you are interested in, go ahead, give this video a thumbs up. Before we get started, go ahead and just drop a smiley emoji. Go ahead and drop that fist bump if you are ready for those gems to be dropped. Go ahead and drop that jewel if you're ready for gems to be dropped. This is basically going to be a free class to help you guys understand about pricing. Now, if you want more in-depth teachings on pricing, how to price your items right, how to build your creative confidence and your business confidence to stand on those prices and understand why you cannot bend and give on your prices. In the link of this, in the description of this video is a link to join my creative business program. I will talk more about that in just 30 seconds, but make sure you also take this time to share the video out. We'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, welcome back. I just looked at the time because I had some calls and stuff like that, and I actually have a master's class tonight because we normally do it on Fridays, but tomorrow is your favorite fulfillment center guy's birthday. Tomorrow is Evan's birthday, so I won't be able to do my master's class tomorrow. We're doing it tonight, and that starts at 7. So I gotta hurry up and get this done. But luckily, I am using Honestly Speaking products, and it's only going to take 30 seconds per press. So we're gonna knock this out fairly quickly for the project that we're going to do. But I have to make some custom ribbon for a client. And so I've already printed everything out. This is the Honestly Speaking Sublimation paper roll. So it allows me to do longer runs because there's 12 feet of ribbon that I have to put this on, and it's front and back. Oh, my glasses are all over the place. So we've already done this part, but at first I was gonna do it off camera, but why does it seem like there's a lot of extra space, or there's something cut off on this one? Oh, heck. Why does this one look like it's cut off? Because it is cut off. I may have to print out one more because this is for some reason cut off. Oh, it shifted. I don't know why it did that. It shifted and only part of it printed, but okay. Anywho, but I wanted the timing of me prepping this. So I already did one. So I wanted the timing of me prepping this to be recorded so that you guys can see when you're doing something like this, even when you know what you're doing, how much time it actually takes to complete a project like this. If you missed my live video earlier, I posed a question to you guys for the ribbon is 1.5 inches wide. It's 12 feet. And I was correct. I remember from before, it was $3 at Walmart for that particular roll of ribbon. So $3 for the ribbon. And we have to do a print that is 1.5 inches by 12 feet. And I asked the question, do a little math yourself and let me know how much would you actually charge? Like, what would be your first thought? And if someone came to you requesting this type of product, what would be the price that you would quote them for it? And I said that I was going to come back and I'm going to do the project and then let you guys know what this order, what they were invoiced for this actual order. All right, so we are going to do double-sided 1.5 inches by 12 feet set of ribbon. It's custom because it needs to be a newsprint for the type of event that she's doing. So it needs to be a newsprint, something you can't really go in the store to buy. So that makes this custom. She cannot go into any store and purchase this. So you guys have to learn to price accordingly and account for everything that you do to get it conception. Like the conception of the idea and planning out the idea all the way to execution. And then even for me to wrap it back on the roll and package it up so that it can be delivered to my customer. All right. So, yes, I know. And I'm not going to, the sad part is I put it on there and I'm not even going to really be able to look at them because I'm not even going to really be looking at these. I probably won't be answering a lot of questions until the end. Um, yeah, I probably won't be answering a lot of questions until the end. This is me going to be going through it because this is, I mean, it's a little chat. It's not necessarily a class. You want the class, you need to join my creative business program. If you missed the intro, as I said, the link for that is in the description. You can, it's $615. It's for basically a year's worth of content. You will have access to all the content that has previously been taught. And then we have up until September. So you're paying from October to September in that and getting all of those. We meet 4 times a month. So that's a lot of content. That's $54 a month. And that is, it's 4 sessions in a month. So you do the math on that one. If you do the first link, you can sign up and use Affirm to break it up. I have no idea what's going on with the Sezzle. Okay. He's upset. He wanted me to put his underwear on it because he went potty, but I'm live. So it's $615. That's like the one-time payment. So you can pay it all at once, or you can get it broken up. Just use Shop Pay, and you can break it up with the firm. But we also have ones where you manage your monthly payment, but that's the second link, and you sign up right through the Academy site. There's 3 options: a one-time payment, and then you have the biannual, so you'll pay twice and you'll be done. And you have forever with those 2 payments, you have forever access to it. Now, if you choose the monthly option, if for any reason you stop paying for it, you won't have access to it, and you can always come back and pay for access to it. But with the monthly on the website, it is 12 payments that it's broken up, and it's not the 615 you're saving. So it's a little bit more expensive. It's like, I think it's like 65 a month or something like that. But you can choose to, if you don't have it one month, you might want to stop, and then so it gives you a little bit more flexibility compared to just paying the whole 615 upfront and breaking it up into payments through Affirm. All right, but that is the creative business program, and you want to get all of the gems. And I say I see quite a few of my creative business students in the comments. We go over things that are really going to help you for your business. Understand? I'm not even gonna. We go through a lot of stuff, product pictures, websites, profit by the numbers, so much. Like, we do check-ins and there to support and all that kind of good jazz. So consider joining the creative business program. February, I'm telling y'all, it's about to be lit. The 1st, the 3rd, the 15th, and the 17th. Those are the days that we meet in February. 1st, 3rd, 15th, 17th. What I'm about to bring to y'all for those days, if you don't make money, then you just need to leave the program. You might need to just make it a hobby. If you're actually going to apply them, and if you're not making any money from it and you're not getting any sales, then that's on you. That's something else. But I'm telling y'all, February is about to be straight lit. Okay. All right. So yeah, Tanika Bell said it's worth every penny. I believe she's in doctorate, so she gets my silhouette trainings also. Oh God, something's in my eyeball. All right, so let me get into this because I do have class tonight. I'm gonna try to look at some of the comments over on Shakeya Lavelle. Thank you so much for keeping me, in check, Chanel. Thank you for sharing it also, Chanel. Girl, see, she be on it. That's she trying to get moderator of the month. She be on it, honey. All right, let me see. Make sure you guys also share this out. So I don't see no one put in their guesses or what they would charge for this. I need to see those, guys. I want to know, what would you charge if you had to do 2 spools of 12-foot ribbon, a 1.5 by 12-foot 12-foot ribbon. So I need to know what you guys would charge for that. All right. So let's go over here. She said, the moderator for a lifetime. Don't play with me. Creative business is really great. I can't make this up. I'm getting much more than what I paid for. You won't think the same about your business. Oh, thank you. And it's not just because, and she became already because she's been showing out in the program. So all right, we're going to get into this. Like I said, I'll go back to the program part of it. I need to start cutting this up so we can start pressing and go from there. All right. The part that's going to suck is that I've already moved my camera, so I'm going to have to try and do it. Okay, you know what? Let's do it this way. All right. So first part of this, now it's when it comes to pricing, it's also about the materials that you have and how fast is this job going to go based off of the materials that you have. So by me having the sublimation paper roll, I'm able to do longer runs. When you have a wide format printer, you're able to put more on there. Can you do this with an 8.5-inch wide printer? Yes, because we sell the 8.5-inch sublimation paper rolls. See? And let's see. With this one, I would have been able to get let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5 depending on the size, but about 4. I would have been able to get 4 strips on the 8.5 by 328 foot one. And yes, my shirt is freaking showing there. All right, so on here there's 2, 4, 6, 7. So I basically would have had to, what I can do on here for one, I would have had to do 2 just for this. This will do 1 whole ribbon because it's the front and back, and it's going to take 3 presses. So it's front and back. 1, 2. Yeah, I don't even need the last one anyway. So front and back to be able to do the 1 set of ribbon. All right. So this already makes it easier when you're trying to decide which printer to get. When you increase your size and you upgrade your equipment. Now, if I would have had like a 24-inch one and that one is unlimited, I could have actually printed out the entire 12 feet. I think you can do that long with the 24. Or like let's say if I would have had the big 36-inch one, I could have done the full 12 feet and had that probably would have been a waste because it would be 36 inches. And if I do the full 12 feet, and it's only, 2, 4, 6. So it would have been 8 inches wide. So the rest of it would have been a waste. You have to also know which equipment to use for certain things. This would have been a waste really on a really big printer. This wouldn't have been because then I can do the whole 12. The reason why it's so many of them is because I have to break them up and put them up in pieces. So first thing in pricing is, or not to say pricing, but profiting the most from it is the equipment that you're using and how efficient it is. All right. Okay, here's the scissors. So I'm going to look at some of your questions. Feel free to post questions. Feel free go ahead and put in your guesses. I'm not telling you anything for here. I'll do it this way. The ribbon is $3 a spool. A thing of sublimation paper, like the roll like this, is $40.30. And it's 328 feet, which is 3,900 and some odd change inches. So you can do the math on that. You know what? I'll tell you what the math is. So to print okay, wait. First, let's do this. Let me see where your mindset is. How much raw cost, just the raw cost of this, You see how big this is, how much ink it is. It's pretty much just black ink. But, oh, damn it. I should have printed this in black and white instead of color. I might hit color, but it would have printed faster if I would have did it in black and white. I don't know what I was thinking. But how much do you guys think that this is raw cost? Just the raw cost of this, how much do you think it is? And while you're writing that, I'm going to start cutting because I don't have very much time. I only have an hour to finish, to press all of this. So write down what you think the raw cost to print this is, meaning the cost of the paper. And, you know, if you were using your ink and stuff, you guys know how much you pay for ink. So based off of the ink that you purchased, and let's say even if this was 13 by 19 paper, what do you think the raw cost of one of these sheets is? All right, let me see. Oh, no one guessed. No one posted anything on the other one. And if you can't just put a guesstimate on here, you need to be in my program, like straight up. My shirt is coming. I didn't feel like taking my dress off or putting on pants, but my dress was comfortable. So, but there's a reason why I have this shirt on, because it's going to lead to pricing talk. So I put this shirt on over my dress because my dress is so comfy. I forgot to look at a timestamp for this. I want to say maybe I started at like 6:05 cutting this. I'm gonna have to go back and look and see the time frame to cut this. All right, so that one's done. So now the next one is to fold it in half so that I can sandwich my ribbon in between. All right, so some people said $8, $5, $6. No, not for the, okay, so you're probably answering for the entire job, $150, but just the raw material cost for this. The cost for paper and ink to print a 13 by 47 inch piece. How much do you think the raw cost of this is? Raw cost $5, $10. You know how much this is? $1. One, like, actually it's less than $1. That was me rounding it up. It's actually less than $1 for this. Because when you take the cost of, well, actually I didn't account for shipping. So let's say maybe $1.05. I mean, I'm going to say that because I forgot to account for shipping technically. I just did the cost of it. And of course, not any taxes. If you're in Florida, you still pay taxes. But once you take and you do the math on this and break it up, and then how many inches this is, just for one of these, it's only $1. It's like less than $1. Let me see. I'll tell you what it is exactly. It is, oh, I'm sorry, to print both of them. This is actual, no, yeah, it's $1 because ink and paper. Paper, this is only 48 cents worth of paper. This is 48 cents worth of paper. That's it. Like all 7 of those together is only 48 cents worth of paper. Ink, I just doubled it. I mean, so around about $1 for just this one sheet. But most of you guys probably have never done a cost analysis. You've never gone and broken down your inventory, your products. When you're buying the paper, if you don't have what it costs per, like for that per sheet. And in this case, because it's not sheets, I have to do it by how many inches or how many feet, depending on which math I want to do. If you haven't done that, you're behind the game. You're never going to have accurate prices because you have not done a cost breakdown. You have not done analysis of your business and the supplies and what it takes to finish a job. That's going to be your first thing that you need to do. Whether you join creative business or not. No, so I said raw costs. Miss Wood, I'm sorry. Stop giving them extra, okay? But this is $1. That's it. So now this is about $1 worth of material. The ribbon is $3. I mean, I don't really count parchment paper as far as I mean, but it's a required piece of like material supply to get this done. So parchment paper and tape. All right. So let's just make that an even dollar as well. Parchment paper and tape is another $1, right? So knowing that I can get one ribbon front and back from this. I'm actually helping out a little bit too much. I wanted to know how much would you guys charge. But I guess you can't do it because you haven't done a cost analysis and to know on average how much you spend in paper and ink. But now that you kind of know that this is only $1, I gave you a head start on pricing it. This is $1. How much would you charge to, oh, dang it, I left the ribbon in the other room. Even, I left the other ribbon in the living room. Can you bring me that bag that has the ribbon in it that's on the floor? I only grabbed one spool out. I don't know what I was thinking. How much would you charge for this custom ribbon? And see all the work that it takes. Yes. Thank you kindly. Oh, wait, is there another one? Because this is the gloss grain. I need the satin ones. Is there another one in there? All right, so we are at 6:13. I started this at 6:05, cutting it, and I already cut the other one up. So it took me like 2 minutes. Thank you. It took me like 2 minutes to cut that one. So you add that to it, and I'm still pinching. And this is the spool. $15 to make this? Okay. It's kind of like custom memorial, but that's even different because you have to cut those up. Most times when you're doing the memorial ones, they want you to cut it up or you're doing it in sections. This, I'm just printing the whole one. I'm going to spool it back up. She's going to cut it and make her ribbons herself. So I don't even have to do that part. That's adding even more cost to it. But this will definitely help you price out your memorial ribbons because some of y'all are way off base. I've seen some of the prices y'all charge for those memorial ribbons, and I'm like, ooh, child, y'all must just want to give to charity because of, or y'all just have sympathy because they lost a loved one. Because some of y'all not pricing right for them ribbons at all. But that might, okay, so with the ribbon though, because you won't have to do something like this and it's normally not double-faced, it's not double-sided. I mean, I guess it comes out a little bit better, but most times you're pre-cutting that ribbon. That still work. Like I wouldn't pre-cut the ribbon, like I'm being straight up, but it's only one side. So I won't have to crease it. I can just cut it and tape down. I can just cut it and tape it down, but I would just do one continuous roll and then cut it afterwards. That's how I would end up doing it. Well, how I don't like doing them. So So someone said 15. Jesse says 50. $40 per spool is what Chrissy said. Elizabeth says 25. Raw cost 15. No, raw cost definitely. Well, for this one right here is only $2. $4. All right. So $25. She says, read my comments up there. Okay. I'm a nerd. I calculate how much for each piece of paper, divide the ink by teaspoons. Oh, I see anybody got time for that. I mean, you can go that route, but I'm not doing that crap. And I add shipping to both before doing the calculation. Yeah, I mean, you definitely should add your shipping, but to be honest, for me, ink is not something that I calculate as a per job. Ink becomes a monthly business expense. It's not a per job type deal for me because it is really hard unless you're, you want to just be a geek and a nerd like AJ. It really is hard to calculate that. So if I'm being totally honest, I don't calculate ink as a per job thing. It's always it's just a monthly business expense, or once you kind of get in the groove, it might be every 2 month or quarterly business expense, depending on how much ink you have to go through. And that just, that becomes a part of my overhead. So y'all don't mind my shirt. I feel crazy like this, but it just becomes a part of your overhead that you add to each order. You should be adding overhead to each order to cover the cost of running business. So for me, ink is a cost of running business. I don't do it per order. Oh, come on. Hi, sir. All right. I have one more to do. So while I'm doing the last one, here is my next question to you guys. All right. So while I am, I would say at least 20 to 30, probably even more. All right. So while I'm about to prep the last one, I want you to answer this. What all should you consider when pricing this? So what all goes in how you calculate, what all goes into pricing for you? Is it just raw material? Do you break down labor? Like, what all do you factor in? And if you are a creative business student and you've been through don't answer it. Well, they won't know if you're a creative business, but they probably will know that you are in my program. Actually, no, go ahead and answer, because then they'll see the type of, what you got, the type of training that you guys get in my creative business. But I just don't want you to kind of give it away too much, because I'm going to talk about it a little bit at the end. All right. Oh my gosh. And this has to be right in the middle so that I don't get white spots when I put the ribbon in between it. So it has to actually sandwich. So I have to make sure that it's not shifting and it's going down the way that it's supposed to. All right. Oh, Jesus. One more. Last one. Products and labor. My time, raw material, design fee. For now, I'm just charging raw material. Okay, well, it's not a bad thing if you're just if you're using it to hone in on your craft and your skills. It's okay to charge raw. Well, you still shouldn't charge raw material. You should still have like a little something for mistakes. But if you are not really in business, so if you're just charging raw material, you are not in business. You are learning your business. You are perfecting or at least that's what it should be, that you're perfecting your craft, but you're not in business yet, because you can't be in business charging raw material costs. All right, over here, cost of material, cost of material and labor costs, the time to make it, design fee, okay. Labor costs for time process would be the biggest of the charges. Material and time, let's see, time, raw material, cost to operate, and equipment. Raw material, labor, possibly shipping. Shipping is not included when you're pricing out. I don't do the whole free shipping. That's not good for small businesses, with offering or including shipping into your pricing. There's a reason. Come on now, you were in class. There's a reason why I don't recommend doing that. There's a very good reason why I don't recommend building the shipping into your custom product. That's a bit, certain things you can probably do that, but for custom products, you should not be building in your shipping cost into your custom products at all. Will charge for changes after, I will charge for change. Oh, hourly rate, raw material, possible mistake, and possible rush fee. Shipping as well. No, shipping should not be. So where, somebody said, where's the overhead? Ooh, that's a good question. For some of these responses, that's a good question. Where does your overhead come in? Because there are overhead taxes if applicable. Taxes is something that's billed separately. So no matter what, you don't build taxes into the price of it. Once they go, and whatever the total is where taxes are calculated. So as you are pricing, you should not be accounting for taxes either. Because if you are collecting taxes, it is going to collect it based off of whatever they purchase, and whatever their total, whatever their subtotal is, their taxes will be calculated for their grand total. So nope, you don't include taxes when you're pricing out your stuff. You have to show, and another reason why I'll give you guys that free gem. You have to show that you collected taxes. You need that line on, especially if you have like a website, so that you know exactly how much to charge. If you build it into your taxes, when it comes to filing your taxes, and you have this higher amount that you can be taxed on, so you're going to basically paying, you're going to pay more than what you should because you included the taxes in the price, and they still going to want their money because you're going to tell them, oh, this product was this, and it, that was the total cost of it, and taxes weren't included. So you don't want to include taxes in your price. They should be paying taxes separately. Raw material, time and labor, design fee. My total for both would be 73. Okay. Raw materials, overhead, mess up sale items, labor, design fee. Percentage of material and labor, what percentage amount? I don't know. Taxes are different for each state. You can only accommodate for that at checkout. Exactly. All right. So to prep this, I started, I didn't cut the other one. 6:05. It is now 6:25. So 20 minutes to cut and prep these 6 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's almost a half an hour just for prep. And that's just to prep this. Now I got to prep. I already prepped one. And you'll see me do the other one. But this ribbon is already inside of here. Taped down. Oh, I forgot. I almost made a big boo-boo. I can't do this. Duh, Shakeya. I'm so glad I was talking to y'all. I almost made a really big mistake. Because when I press the other side, guess what? It's going to be a void there. I can't put this tape on the inside, Jesus. Or at least not this far down. Oh, I would have been mad at myself, y'all. Ooh, when I tell y'all I would have been so mad at myself for this would have been a very costly mistake that I almost made. Child, you can't do this. And the reason I'm talking about is I taped it down for it to stay in place. But you can't do that. Because when I go to press it, ain't going to be no ink in that area. Lord Jesus. I'm so glad I'm talking to y'all because I almost made a big mistake. Let's just put it on the outside where it belongs. Now I got to go through and take all this tape off. Ooh, child, what was I thinking? All right. Now I got to do the other one because to increase production time, it makes no sense. This is only 2 inches wide. Why would I only press one when I can do both spools at the same time? So that's the other thing too. You have to think before you actually move, because most people probably have just done one ribbon at a time. Why faux hoppo when you can do both and knock them out within that press? And then based off of how I teach my students, they're going to profit from that press time because you still calculate it, but you're taking care of that with the other one. So that's now additional profit for you. That's how you increase your profit margin, is by doing things where it's less work but get the same results. You price for it and then you basically pocket that money. All right, so I'm gonna switch it over to the other camera just so that you can see me prep this first one. Well, prep the second one. All right. Let's switch over. All right. Problem solving is a big part of business. That's a good one, AJ. All right. So I'm going to, of course, sacrifice the very top of this because, I mean, I have to, you know, I'm not using any spray. So I have to kind of sacrifice the very top of this, which they're going to cut that part off anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. So we're just going to put that, well, that's a little bit too low. All right, we're going to put that right there and then tape it to the paper. This is a lot easier on my table than me trying to do this on the heat press, so y'all can see. When I do the rest of this, unfortunately, y'all are not going to be able to see it because this is taking up too much time doing it on this small surface. So I'm going to do it on my table, but I'm not going to go through all of the stuff to move my camera to the other table. All right. So that's sandwiched inside of there. And if you are a master student, if I go a little past 7, which I'm trying not to, I'm trying to hurry up and do this. Just go into the class. It's going to say I haven't started the meeting yet, but just go into class. Or just be there so that hopefully I'll be done by the 10-minute grace period. And if you are a master student, pull up your multiple crop lesson. If you are a master student, pull up your multiple crop. You have to go to bachelor's to do it, or it should actually already be downloaded on your computer. But we're going to be expanding on the design from the multiple crop class for the bachelor session. So if you are a master student, that's the lesson or that's the file you need to pull up. I'm sorry. My arm is all in the way. Hold on. Okay. And then one on the end to keep it in place. All right. We are now ready to press. I forgot to check my pressure. So I'm going to use this end to check my pressure. Ooh, and I'm on the wrong temp and time. Jesus. Okay, that's perfect. But how I got, oh, shoot. I'm only on 315. How in the heck did that happen? Dang it, 5 minutes. All right, well, I guess we're going to have a little chitty chat because I got to wait 5 minutes. I didn't even notice that I was at 315. So we got to wait a little minute for that one. So let's have a little chat, and I guess I can go over some of this pricing stuff while I'm waiting for that to heat up to 365. All right. Free your mind. Answer what for you in the chat, ma'am or sir. I don't see. It just says, can someone in the chat answer a question for me, please? Okay. You come over here with some foolery. I'm not sure, you could just ask your question. If it's not related to what we're doing, I suggest you don't post it. But if it is relevant to what we are talking about, feel free to go ahead and post your question. If not, my block game is real fast. So I don't know if you are a real viewer or not, but feel free to post your question. But if it's not, trust and believe, my block game and my moderator's block game is we quick with the draw. Okay, good. It's a regular question. Woo! All right, perfect. It's a real question because, baby, my block game is real fast. I'm quick with the draw. All right, let me see. Let's go over here. I got my printer today. I got my Honestly Speaking ink. I put it in, and now I'm printing lines. What do you mean by lines? Pinwheels, lines in your print, banding lines. What print settings are you using? Some people say lines, but there's like 3 different things as far as like lines. So what type of lines are you getting? All right. So yes, I am using the tacky paper rolls for this. So I'm using the rolls, and that's tacky paper. Why does the customer take a hit for a mistake? Why do you say that? Why do you feel like the customer is taking a hit for a mistake? They're not, I mean, you're only human. You're making stuff with your hands. That's a cost of business. If you don't make a mistake, that's money for you, but that's not necessarily them taking a hit for a mistake. That's just the cost of running business. Anything in business, you're going to always have a markup. I saw you had a video saying I had to do the print settings for automation. Yes, so we do have a video. Plain paper, bright white, quiet mode on Adobe RGB 1.8. Quality, so plain paper, bright white. Your quality is set to either high or quality. If you're using a Windows, high if you're using a Mac. Quiet mode on Adobe RGB 1.8. Thick paper envelope, and take your density down to -5. Anywhere from -5 to -20, depending on the design that you're doing. Okay, so okay, so I guess I'll break it down now versus the end since I have to wait 3 more minutes. All right, so how I teach my students, and that's what she asked about, like mistakes, is you have to, I'm not going to give you the full breakdown, join creative business for that. But once you have your raw material cost, right? For materials, not like materials you can actually calculate, you're going to either, it's up to you, but it's a range. And I explained to them the different ranges. It's anywhere from 2 times to 4, maybe even 5 times, depending on the actual item and the value of it. maybe even 5 times the value of it. Okay. That's, you kind of start with that, right? And then you're going to have your design time. I mentioned it in the video earlier. Something like this, for me to go and set this up, which I'm going to pull up Silhouette Studio, just so you can see a little bit of how this is set up. You have to account for design. Now, is there any major design in this? Did I do special colors, putting names, dates, having to crop out pictures? No, I didn't have to do any of that. But it's still a design fee because I had to go pull those pictures. I had to do certain things to them for them to be able to work. So there's still a design and setup fee for this. I don't have necessarily a set design fee because some things are a lot quicker than others. I'm a very honest person in that I'm not going to charge someone that took me like 2 seconds, or I just had to find an image and set it up. I'm not going to necessarily charge you $25, where I would charge somebody else that if I had to pick colors, edit pictures, remove the background, add a name, do this, arrange this. Like, that's a little bit different, and the cost for that might not charge, for that, for something like this, even though I had to go and pull in pictures. To get this was very unique. Sometimes some things are going to be very, very easy to find. 1 or 2 searches, hey, it comes up. If it's a character, hey, you can find those anywhere. You can throw a rock and get a character. But for something like this, trying to figure out which ones that work. So it took me, I was probably searching for maybe about like 20 minutes. I actually, within the first 5 minutes, I found the image, but I just kept looking for other ones. And it was just a very unique type of like theme for this one. So you have to account for that. Depending on, you got to be real honest with yourself on where your design skills are. People, their rates go higher with experience and with the quality of it. I am not saying that you're not worth your time to design, but you also have to be honest with yourself. And if you're starting and I look at your designs and you're using regular basic fonts, you're not even trying to, spruce it up. You don't have no text effects. You don't have certain things. It's real basic. All you did was take a background, take a picture, remove the background, plop it on there. You got one of these pictures, with the arms cut off, and you have done nothing to it. Take it how you will. But baby, why you trying to charge $30 for a design fee and you didn't really do any design? I personally have an issue with that, where I've honed in on my skills, and, I can design. I come up with creative and awesome ideas. It's totally different. It's truly custom, but you want to charge the same amount as me. So that, as far as profiting from that, and your profit from your design fee, is something that will increase over time. And as you actually learn about graphic design, and you learn about compositions of designs and layouts and things like that. So once you improve your skills on that, then of course your rates should go up at any job. Someone that's going there just to flip burgers and just came in can expect to make the same amount as a manager. Do they both work for McDonald's? Yes, but their positions are totally different. So you can't charge on that. When you go onto a regular job, you guys have to start thinking about corporate. There is minimum wage. There's ones for like supervisory type roles. There's management type roles. There's ownership and things like that. I break down everything that I do as a creative business kind of off those same things. If you had to pay someone to do this part, to cut it up, are you going to pay them $12, $15, $25 an hour to cut up paper and to bend it? No, that's something where, okay, that's like, okay, little, very easy job to do. That might be a minimum wage type deal. So every step of the process for me has a different price point. So to do that, let's say, okay, I think right now minimum wage is, Lord Jesus, what is minimum wage here? And we just went over this because we're about to hire staff. It went up, and because they're trying to get, I think, to either 12 or 15, but I want to say it's like, let's just say it's 10. It took me in half an hour. So I have to now account for, if I had staff doing that, I'm going to have to pay them basically $10 for that 30 minutes. Because they're going to, on an hourly rate. So to me, that's a task that is more of a entry level task. Pressing it. My heat press is an employee. Every time I lower that lever, it's a certain fee. And depending on the temperature and the time, I have a scale based off of, if I don't have to put it up very high because it's going to take a lot of energy, I can press it real quick. That might be a 25-cent press. But then if I have to go and I have to take it, well, baby, when you use Honesty Speaking paper, you'll never have to do 400 degrees for 60 seconds. That's just more time, energy, and we ain't got time for that. So using Honesty Speaking sublimation paper, 365, 30, 45 seconds, somewhere in there, that might be like a 50 cent, 75 cent. But now if you had to do 400 degrees, 60 seconds, you have to charge $1 because you wasted too much electricity and you now wasting time for a whole 60 seconds. And we ain't got to do that over here with Honesty Speaking paper. So it might be 75 cents every time you drop it, right? Vinyl, it might be a little bit less. So I don't calculate it the same because they're different. This is why I put on my shirt over my dress, because this is different than if you were to sublimate it. If I were to give someone this exact same design, but on a polyester shirt, they are not the same value. I can press it to a polyester shirt one dime. One. That's it. But if they want a cotton shirt, see, most people charge more for sublimation than they do cotton shirts and vinyl. See, I'm the opposite. I charge more for this because this on a cotton shirt, did the shirt cost me less money? Yes, but the process is a lot longer. I still had to print this the same way I would have with sublimation. It's probably the same amount of time, and I could just press it. So I have to print this. I have to cut this. I got to be very careful that I don't mess it up. So I got to take my time with this. This right here is vinyl. This had to be cut. The vinyl, wait, where we at? The vinyl right here had to be cut. And then when I press it, that's two different presses. Press the middle, put my top, put my bottom. Actually, it's three presses because it's tack, and then full press. So that's three presses. That's 3 times I had to drop my heat press. So my price is going to be different for this versus a sublimation shirt where I only had to press it one time. And now I can take this off because now that I've done my demonstration, because this is hot up under here. Okay. Jesus. All right, we should also be ready over there. So I'm going to talk to you while we're at the press because it's 6:43 and I got class. Okay. She say boom right there. Creative business is I teach my classes. You sign up either or through the Academy site. Both of the links are in the description of the video. Just kind of click off. You're on YouTube, so just kind of click off of here, go into the description, and you should be able to click on that link. I'll also drop them in the comment section. But you can sign up. If you do it on the shop site, you can pay for it straight out. Only the one-time fee is on the shop site. And you can do shop pay and do it through a firm and break it up automatically with them and just pay the one-time fee. And it's a 23% discount compared to if you pay for it monthly. If you pay for it monthly, it equates to a whole lot more. But on the second link, you can go to our website and pay either 2 payments. One payment when you first sign up, and then another payment in 6 months, and you're done. And you have access to all that content for a lifetime. Or if you do monthly, once you pay it off after 12 payments, then it's yours. Like you get to keep it or whatever. But it is a monthly one. If you ever stop paying it, it cuts you off. So that's up to you on which way you want to. So shop site, just want to do one shebang. Academy site, if you want options. Okay. And I'll drop those again. Hold on, let me copy it. So let me copy. This is the one on the Academy site. If you want options like bi or monthly payments that are controlled by you. If you ever can't pay it, then you can stop, and then when you come back, but you have, in order to get a lifetime access, you're gonna have to make all 11 of them payments. And then you have this one where you can do it with a firm. There's that one. All righty. I told y'all my block game is serious. Okay, so let's block you and let's block you. You're lucky you kind of got away with it because I was doing something. All right. Do you do anything with silhouette? Anything for, what do you mean? Do I do anything? I do a lot of stuff with 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14. I do a lot of stuff. She says, y'all getting these free nuggets. Exactly. Those using paper consistently that requires 400 degrees need to take into account the wear and tear that temperature puts on their heat press. Oh, yes. How much we paying, and wait, what things are we using for sublimation? What software? Okay, this isn't a class about sublimation. I have a wonderful sublimation, intro to sublimation. I talk about design. I talk about the materials that you're going to need, all that stuff. That is on the shop site. It's only $33.65. It's a playback of the class that we just did on this past Sunday. That will answer all of your questions. So definitely click on that link. It'll take you, the second link will take you to the site, or just go to hssync365.com. It's still at the top. 3365, and you'll get the playback from the other class. All right. So, all right, let's go ahead and, oh, you had got somebody too? Okay, good. Thank you, ma'am. All right, let's go over to the heat press because we should be ready now. And I only have a few minutes until class. I gotta go. All right, there we go. All right, so for this, I am going to use, although our paper does not require a cover sheet. Remember, I always say it all depends on what you're doing. So for this one, I am going to have to use a cover sheet because it's not like a perfect fold. So for some of these, that ink will be exposed when I press it. So for this, I do have to use a cover sheet on the bottom and on the top, because some of that is exposed. So we're going to put these two over him, cover it up. It slipped. That's okay. Press it for 30 seconds. I almost said 60 seconds. We're going to press that for 30 seconds. And then we're going to flip it and press it again. If you have questions for me while I'm going through this, feel free. I'm turning around every so often to look at questions. And we're just going to move it on. That's hot. Just move it down. That's why I wasn't worried about where it was, because I'm going to overlap it anyway. So that's there. Oh, shoot. Okay, no, it goes this way. I need to mark this so that I know. Actually, this is why I prefer to use butcher paper, because I can put a sticker on butcher paper. I can't put a sticker on parchment paper. So I'm actually going to switch to butcher paper so that I know which side is the top side, because anybody got time for that? Where is my butcher paper? Move that up. Cover this up again. And press that section. Now I need to flip it to do the back side. So far we're at 3 presses. We're about to do 3 more presses. So that's going to be 6 presses just for, actually, oh no, that's still wrong. You know what? I actually probably don't. This is a really thin ribbon. It actually did both sides. I don't even have to do this. Yay. All right. I should have checked that first. It actually did both sides at the same time. When I pressed it, Shakeya, this is the tacky paper, and this is really a really thin ribbon. Boom. All right, we're good. All right, so it's actually going to be less time. 3 presses. So now I'm going to take this off. Where is my X-Acto knife? Where is my blade? Now, I just had I don't know, but let's just cut it with the scissors. All right, so this one is done. You want to see how that's what's left of it. I probably should have brought y'all a little bit higher. But there's that, okay? Then we're going to have to put the paper on the next section and press that 3 more times. So we're going to press this a total of 9 times. And this is why I wanted my X-Acto knife, because these scissors are dull and I'm cutting into my ribbon. All right, you know what? I ain't got time for this. Pull that sucker through, call it a day. All I gotta do is it's stuck to it. So that's why it's kind of, we're gonna take that part off. And now I should be able to pull it through. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. All right, like I said, it's a lot easier for me to do this on my table than on this heat press. So unfortunately, you will not get to see me do it on the table because I don't feel like repositioning the camera. But all I'm doing is basically what I did before. It's just a lot easier now because I'm able to put the whole thing flat on my table and not have to worry about constantly moving it. So I'm just going to make this process that much easier. Good work areas also helps with your having good production time. Oh, I forgot to look at the clock to see where I was as far as time. I completely forgot to look at that. But I am a little closer to the computer so I can see any questions that you guys have. All right. So feel free to post your questions because I'm closer to the computer. Let's see. Classes with 8.5. I don't do classes based off of just paper sizes. I kind of discuss all paper sizes, and whatever I teach, it works for all of them. So unless you're talking about like piecing things together, I don't really do a lot of classes with piecing it, but if I piece it together, however I piece it together for 11. I'm going to do it big enough to piece it together for 11 and a half or 13 by 19. And you're going to do the same exact steps with your 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14. So do I do classes specifically for those size papers? No. I just do general classes, but the information applies no matter which size printer you have. All right. So just got to take this bad boy. Sorry, you guys just have to look at my heat press, but it's not set up where there's a camera on this one and on the heat press right now. So you guys just look at the heat press for now. Let's see. Labor, product overhead, and one mistake. We can't send you gifts on this channel. On 365 Creative Academy, no, not yet. It's not monetized. You would have to do it on the other one, or you can send it right to my Cash App, HS Sync 365. All over shirts, it really depends. Thank you, Chrissy. I don't do all over shirts. I can't stand them as far as with the small heat press. But on average, people charge anywhere from $35 to $50 for all over shirts. Some people even more than that because it depends on the value of the design. But most commonly, I see a lot of people only charging like $35 for a all over shirt. It really just depends. Because if you have a big heat press and a big printer, it's so much easier. You don't have to do all that hardboard and taping down and all these things. So it really depends on your method. If you're trying to do an all over shirt with 8.5 by 11, I highly advise against that. That's just, I'm never going to teach a class really on that or like really advocate for doing that because that's just a lot of work unnecessarily. A small heat press is not meant for that type of job. We have to normalize working within our means. If you've got a small heat press, you're saying, well, I just want to start off. All over shirts is not something that's for a beginner. That's not a starter. Work on learning sublimation first and different things like that you can do with it within the capabilities of your heat press and your printer. And then you can move on to other things. But for me personally, and when I'm teaching, an all over shirt is not something that is beginner for sublimation. All right, so that one's done. I have no idea. Okay, here's the other ribbon. I was like, what happened to the other ribbon? So, quick question for you guys. Do you charge the same amount or do you charge more for a vinyl shirt versus a sublimation? Do you charge more for a sublimation shirt than you do a vinyl shirt or a print and cut shirt? All right, let me check my time. All right, I only got 10 more minutes left. Okay, class starts at 7. And we have a 10-minute grace period. They know that we have a 10-minute grace period. So hopefully I get this done and get this all set up. All right. Ah, shoot. I didn't realize I did not tape this. See, little foolish mistakes. I'm like thinking about the fact I'm about to be late for class and I'm making little silly mistakes. I forgot to tape the print down and I moved it and the whole thing fell out of the paper because I didn't tape it down to the inside. Great, Shakeya. Just add more time to this. If you're just joining, I am here. Unfortunately, I don't have the camera on the table because I have to get another tripod. Well, not a tripod, another arm for over here. Once we're finished with this, the goal is to have a stationary camera over this table. But for now, I don't. So you gotta wait for me to come back. All right. And let me grab my X-Acto knife so that I can cut this out. So now we press again. Pull this to right there. I'm going to make sure that your platen is covered because there is heat that's going to somewhat touch that back there. And we don't want it to mess up your heat press. So make sure you have enough butcher. My butcher paper, well, my parchment paper is actually going over the edge. I use my butcher paper on top because there is ink exposed on the edge of the paper. Press it for 30 seconds. So this will be 3 presses. Is it 3 presses? Yeah, 3 presses for this section. And then we have 1 more section to do. And then we'll be done. So a total of 9 presses to do this. Regular vinyl and glitter costs more if multiple colors. That's additional. More for vinyl. Yes, I actually charge more for vinyl shirts than I do sublimation shirts. Vinyl is always higher for us. A lot of people, I find that a lot of people, they do it the other way around. They charge more for sublimation than they do vinyl shirts. And I'm like, not I said the cat. For me, sublimation is my low ticket item. More for vinyl and print and cuts than sublimation because the products cost more than sublimation as well as the time it takes to weave. So to me, technically, well, I don't buy vinyl by the sheets. It really depends on how you buy it. Vinyl by the sheets costs more. I buy it by the roll. So it's a little bit less in vinyl compared to paper and ink for sublimation. And then, but the time is faster for sublimation. And, I take that part into account. She says, I would never. Yes, it's definitely more time consuming for weeding. If you're doing multiple colors. Now, if it's a single color, that's different. They're actually about the same for me for single color designs. But when it's multicolor, it's more cutting, more weeding, more presses. But just for a regular one color, it's actually probably about the same as a sub shirt for me. Ooh, that was overlapping. Oh, that part was already done, so I should actually be okay. Yeah, I'm good. All right. And see, it's stuck to it. I forget I have to pop it unless well, let me see if I give it a little tug. This is tacky paper, so of course it's stuck to it. Come on. All right. Let's see. Where did the two prints meet? I have no idea where the two prints met at. Haha. I'm so dope. You can't even tell where they met at. See, this is the stuff that people pay me the big bucks for because you really can't tell because of, I mean, it's the print too, but I didn't have any white gaps. Like I did it perfectly. I lined that baby up perfectly. And this is why I get paid the big bucks. Because it's going to look like it was made in a factory. But it was made right here in my little craft room. Well, office. Or actually, as it's going to be called, HS, well, it was going to be actually called 365 Studios. Is what I will start to refer to this room as once I get it all set up how I want. This won't be my office. This won't be a craft room. This will be 365 Studio. Ooh, I'm going to have to burn that one because I cut into it a little bit. So you got to be careful with cutting it. I think I did that with the scissors. There we go. Boom. All that color is gone. And it did both sides at the same time. All right. We have one more section to do. Let's not forget to tape it down, Shakeya, so that we don't make double work for ourselves. Ooh, actually, there's a little piece left to this. So I'm going to have to do a little extra to this because there's actually another piece that's not. But I should be able to do that with the little scraps that's left. What time is it? 7:09. All right, if you're a master student, I'm coming. I'm actually about to turn it on and let them in. And they'll just have to give me 3 presses. That's it. All I need is 3 presses. And I will be on for that. It takes 3 presses for this. So once I set this up, I'm going to open up the Zoom room for my master students. And if you're a master student, make sure you have your multi-crop lesson uploaded, all right? We are going to take that file and learn how to make it work for other templates, okay? And when I let you guys in, you're not going to see any video, so you'll still have to watch it from YouTube or Facebook once I let you in the Zoom, because y'all know my camera doesn't split to work on Zoom and what's the name at the same time. All right. Ow. I just broke off 3 nails doing this mess. All right. Oh yeah. The last one as far as the full row. So I technically started this. I mean, we had like a little break. I started at 6:05. We had like a little 10-minute break because I had to wait for it to heat up. We're past 7:05. We're probably going to get to it. So just in prep and press time, me having a 16 by 20 heat press, this project or this order would take me about an hour in actual production time with having a smaller heat press and printer. Had I had like the really long, because they make heat presses that will do stuff like this because they're really skinny, but they're really long heat presses. So it'll make doing something like this a whole lot easier. So when you have the proper equipment, you can profit more because it takes you less time. This I took take up an hour. Now I can't work on anything else in this hour. So that's money that's not being made and not an additional profits and revenue that I'm making in the hour that it's taking to do this. But if I had bigger equipment, the proper equipment, I knock it out, this order out, and now I can work on another order that is going to bring me money, like bring me more money. So that's how you have to think about when it comes to upgrading your equipment and your processes for doing things. You have to think about how it will affect your bottom line. And it might seem like a lot of money, but it's an investment. You will make that money back by being able to do more jobs faster and more efficiently. So eventually it will pay for itself. All right, 3 more presses. It's in the bachelor's program. The multi-crop lesson from bachelor's. The multi-crop from bachelor's. She says, that's hilarious. I'm building out my studio as we speak. Girl, yes, we've got studios, production and music. Girl, we got studios. You gonna let me come? I can drop a beat. You gonna come let me rap in your studio? I'm gonna create the HS Inc. jingle in your studio, AJ, when you get done, okay? I want to be the first one on the mic when you get your studio so I can come create the HS Inc. theme song at your studio. In the studio. Nope, I have not started. I saw your message, ma'am. Nope, I have not started it yet. I was waiting to, I said I was going to wait until I did that part. And I'm going to start the meeting, but you guys will not see anything because I can't have both cameras on. But I will be there. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm only gonna press this. The last little piece of it, I will finish after. Well, I want to turn this off. So I'm gonna end this live and finish probably the last little tip on while we're in class. So this is this press. I got one more press to do. One more press to do. One more press, one more press, one more press to do. One more press to do. One more press to do. One more press, one more press, one more press to do. And then we have just this little piece right here that I have to do. All right, master session is starting to where it'll tell you waiting for host to let you in. Uh-oh. See, look at that. All right, escape. Hold on. There we go. All right. Like I said, these last little pieces, I'm going to do that off camera because I need to go into class. So you guys won't get to see me finish it off. But I mean, you get the idea. It's pretty much still the same deal. Now, if you're interested in joining the Masters, well, Masters just might open up in the summer, but it won't be like, it'll still be for this year. You're going to end up getting the playbacks from the previous sessions. Or I might open up a little bit earlier because I just have to restructure how I do Masters. But bachelor's and doctorate programs will not open up until October. But because we just do designing and it's not really in any sequential order for masters, and it's just about designing, I can do that one and open that one back up. This one was a little bit off, but she can put that on the inside. It's a little bit, how far down did that go? I don't know. One little section where there's no print, but that's okay. All right, hold on. Let me let y'all in. And just have to give me a minute. All right, there we go. Make sure you guys stay muted as you come into the class. This will be the one time you don't have to say good evening to me. Stay muted. All right. So here's this. Really? I just said stay muted. I'm still live. All right. There it is. Double-sided. Custom ribbon. It's a newsprint for a theme that she has. And so that you guys know, so for those of you guys who took a guess and a gander at how much this would cost, I think one person was really close. She said $30 a spool. It's actually $35. $35 a spool. This was a $75 order just for 2 spools of ribbon. $75. Between design, material, prep, accounting for how many times my heat press had to go down, my skill level and expertise to be able to execute this, and basically a 3-day notice. It's $35 per spool is what I charge for this. And this is a very basic, I didn't really have to do very much for this. Now, if I had to go and really create and then space it out and memorial and all of that, it would be more than that. But for this, $35 a spool for this ribbon. So someone was really, really close when she said $30 per spool. All right. So that's that. So whoever said 30, Ms. Leah says I was close. I said 73. Yeah. Yeah, you were really, really close. You actually, let me see, that would be a little bit over. So I like that number too. $73, $75, somewhere in there. Yep. She says close. I said 40. You said $40 a spool. Yeah. So for this one, it's a basic design. It's made up of 2 different prints. I'm gonna go and share my screen real quick just so that you guys can see. Just so you can see it real quick. Share screen. So this, let's ungroup. And then we're gonna ungroup. And this is 1, 2, and you can see here so that it blends better. I went in and did like some editing to it so that it blends better. This one is kind of slanted here. Then, so it's not like the same. I end up rotating it. So it wasn't just going in and just putting a print there. There was none that would keep the print small and fill in 47 inches. So you have to do it in sections. And then so it wasn't like the same one. I would, double up certain ones, rotate it, make some of it bigger, some of it smaller. But this is how many pieces it took to do this. So this right here takes time to set up. It's not something where you can just go and put. Now, I've done this, right? So let's say there was a market for this. I could, even though it took me time, I could easily go and now sell this file. It'll be different between you creating a file. So now if you had a need for this, you wouldn't have to worry about that as far as like design fee, because you didn't have to design it. You would account for your fee to buy the design. So I might go and say, okay, this is a print, a 1.5, or I can even make it wider because you can always shrink it down and crop it down. So I can sell that as a JPEG, and it's a $3 file. So now for you, if you want to go and still put $25 for designing, if you want to kind of, that's what you choose to do. But you are now able to somewhat make it more affordable for your customers because you're just buying a file. Whereas with me, my price is going to be higher because I am custom designing it. So you see the difference. So, yes, Aquisha, you can attend masters. You're in doctorate, girl. You can attend bachelor's, masters, and creative business. Make sure you don't miss creative business for February, girl. It's going to be lit. Okay. All right. So I got to go, y'all, because my students are waiting for us to, and then there you go again. So there is that print. The cost was $35 per spool for this particular one. And also, my prices are based off the fact that I own the product line. So, I mean, they kind of got a little bit more of a discount, or it's like not charged as much, being the fact that I own the paper. So it doesn't really cost me $40. So I'm able to profit a little bit more, being the fact that I have the product and the ink and all that stuff. All right. But yeah, so if you are interested in any of my programs, masters will open up soon for just learning designing in Silhouette Studio. Bachelors, to truly understand that will not be back open because I can't let you in the middle of it because we're so far ahead to where if you come in, it'll be a lot of questions on, well, how do I do this? How do I do that? And where is this? So bachelor's, which is learning studio, like from the beginning, and teach you graphic designing, that's not going to be open until it'll open up in for early enrollment, but it doesn't start until October. And then but masters, I'm going to open that up because that's just a continuous thing. There is no start and end to masters, and same thing for creative business. But each session, semester, or like year of the program runs year to year. So you're in it from October to September. That's going to, all of those playbacks will be in one. And then October 2022 until September 2023, that's another set. So you'll have to still sign up for that one. That price only gets you a year of content. So that's how that is set up. All right. So I'm going to go because I have to get to class. Thank you guys so very much for joining me. Hopefully this helped you understand if you are priced right. So if you were saying $15 for that custom roll, baby, you need to join Creative Business. The link is in the description. You can sign up on the website or do monthly on the Academy site. Both of them are there. The one that says Affirm will take you over there. You can set up the 4 payments. Hopefully Sezzle. I have no idea what's going on with Sezzle on our site, because a lot of people ask about that. But Affirm, you can break it up. You have that one, and you have PayPal, buy now, pay later, thingamajiggy. So yeah, hopefully I will see some of you guys in the February session. Like I said, February is about to be so lit for creative business and helping you guys to learn to market, how to take advantage of It's gonna be lit. Like, I can't even give y'all the good stuff. It's about to be lit. All right, y'all. I gotta go so that I can do class and go eat. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.